Good morning. Hi, Ryan.
Hey, I appreciate you taking the time to join me this morning. The first thing I wanted to talk to you about is what is it like to be the first woman to win the International Circuit Championship of the Czech Republic?
Oh, it's amazing, of course. Actually, the year I won it, I even didn't know that I was the first one. so,
Wow.
but yeah, of course, it's something really great that I will never forget.
Right. That's a huge accomplishment for you. I think that's amazing.
Thank you.
After winning that championship, how did that change your life? Did that open new doors, new opportunities for you?
Actually, not really, because in Czech Republic, the motorsport isn't really popular, to be honest. So even if you win like the Czech Championship, and even if you are a first woman to win it, uh, that isn't something that the sponsors came to you and will give you like $100 or thousand of
Right.
dollars that you won a
Right.
championship. So even though I won it, I was still looking really hard for the sponsors.
Well, sure. I know, any accomplishment like that goes on the resume as well, and I'm surprised to hear that, but I'm glad that you were able to continue, continue seeking out different achievements. So, I want to talk to you also about simulation. What was your first experience with simulation?
Oh, that was like I would say like more than 10 years ago, but because I was like 14 or 15 or something like that when I started with formula racing, and of course I also didn't have like my driving license, so during the winter season I was missing the racing so much
Right.
that I built my first simulator. But actually, to be honest, I was so bad into the sim racing, so in a couple of months I said like, okay, I don't want to do that because I'm so slow on the simulator. So I was actually a little bit angry about that. So I was like, okay, I don't want to do that anymore. And yeah, that was my first experience, like, for example, 10 years ago.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I know you're new to iRacing, new to that simulation, but if you don't have things right, it's hard to get, to the right speed, to get up to speed. So it's good to hear you talk about that, and I'm glad that you were able to come back despite your frustrations. I have to ask you, how did you hear about iRacing?
Uh, Actually, I heard it's like half a year ago, maybe not more. I heard about like actually the 10 years ago. I was playing Air Factor the one, and then I knew like is Forza or Race Room or something like that. But actually, I never heard to iRacing. I think that iRacing in Czech isn't really popular. So, but then I was trying to get more into the sim racing community, and there I heard a lot about iRacing. And the stuff what I like the most about iRacing is that you can do so many online races. That's you finish one and you can go directly to another one. What is really good. I like it.
Yeah, it's nice that they lay the schedule out so you're able to do that. I know when I've seen you stream on Twitch, by the way, you can find Gabby on Twitch at QuickGabi, twitch.tv/QuickGabi. I've noticed that you like to bounce back and forth between like the BMW, the GTE, and the F3. What's it like going back and forth between those two cars? Does it take some time to get used to going back and forth, or is it something you find you take to pretty quickly?
It's a way that it's really hard to earn some iRating points, to be honest.
Well, sure. Well,
like
sure.
of course that I'm trying to gain some iRating points, but it's not that important to me. So
Good.
I'm trying to do as many races as possible, and
Yes.
jumping from GT3 to GTE to F3 to GT4, and I don't know what else, and trying
Give me
to
give
yeah
me all the races. Give me all the races.
yeah as much as much as possible. And
Sure.
yeah, like I know that if I would be concentrate more for one or maximum two series, that my I rating would growing faster. But I always want some entertainment also for my viewers and for myself. So yeah, I don't care that much, and I'm trying to do as much as races as possible.
Yeah, I try to tell my listeners not to focus on the iRating so much. Focus on how you drive the car. I like to call that racecraft. I'm not sure what the Czech word is for that, but basically the way you handle yourself. The first lap, give room, things like that too. So, iRating is definitely not as important, especially someone like you that's only been doing iRacing for about 4 months now or 5 months now. Focusing on how you drive and how you attack the track and how you treat the other drivers and stuff like that. It's great to see that. I've seen you do that. I've seen your celebrations. I've seen your frustrations. I think it's great to be able to provide that content for your audience. So that's great to hear you talk about that too. What would you say to women that might be interested in simulation but are afraid that it's a male-controlled environment? Like I'm very proud of you that you are so outgoing in the community, the sim racing community, the Twitch community. What is that like for you to be, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, woman that does this streaming with iRacing and Twitch?
Oh, that's cool. That sounds actually really good, to be honest.
Yes, it's true.
Like I wasn't really scared or afraid to do that, because a lot of people told me that you will got a lot of hates when you crash into someone, this stuff. I said,
Right.
like, yeah, of course, like, even if you are a woman in a motorsport, you will. I get so many hates in my life that I cannot even count them. So I was like, okay, I know that's gonna come, but here you can just do a ban to someone and you don't care that much. But in the real life, it's actually much more harder. You can't just ban someone who's talking to you. So I wasn't really afraid. But if someone is afraid, they definitely don't have to, because as I said, this way is actually more easier than in real life. And like if they have like any questions, for example, they can write me or contact me, and I will be glad to help them, because if we get like more women's in motorsport or in sim racing, that would be great. That would be great.
Yeah, over at Bearded Simracer, we have a community where we're all about helping everyone get the most out of their iRacing experience. I think it's very impressive what you've been able to do. I know you have others that you work with as well. I've seen you with Bologna and your team racing, and also your community and everything too. So I think it's great to hear you say that. I am all for more women in motorsports. We have the W Series. You've competed in that before, isn't that correct?
Excuse me, once more.
The W Series.
Yeah.
Yes. What was that like to drive against all other women? Is that something that
uh,
you had done before, or is that the first time it was all women?
it
As
was
your competitor.
It was actually the first time, and I didn't done the season. I have done just the testing with them, and
Okay.
it's actually weird, but it was okay. It was like totally okay, but it was my first time that I did a testing like for 3 days with a Formula 3, and the drivers were just girls, and this never happened to me, and
Right.
we all were like really fast, so it wasn't like that is a girl and it's slow. They're like, we all were like really fast. So, but it was completely okay. It was completely okay.
Okay. Well, it's great to hear you talk about that too. And I'm glad you mentioned the F3 car. Noticed you raced that quite a bit on the iRacing service. How does the car in iRacing compare to the real life F3 that you've driven on the track?
It depends also on the hardware you are driving and the software, of course, as well.
Yes. Yes.
Because I don't have like the best equipment you can have. I don't have it. So for my side, it's not like 100% the same.
Right. Yeah.
And but
So you're
it's
limited.
yeah,
Yes.
I'm limited with this. But for example, as you told about Balonek, I tried his equipment, and he has a direct drive wheelbase, and we tried the Air Factor 2, and it wasn't that far from the reality, to be honest. It wasn't.
So,
Yeah.
okay. So it was more of a representation of reality with that direct drive wheel compared to what you have
Yes.
with your.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Wow. That's
Yeah,
great to
and
hear. That's
the Air Factor 2 also was better than the iRacing, to be honest.
really
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Wow. I might have to check that out.
Yeah, it's you have like completely another feeling from the car than in iRacing.
Okay, well that makes sense because I know that iRacing is limited in the amount of data that gets sent to the steering wheel that will give you the feel. So that makes sense that R Factor 2 would have more of a real world feel too. So that's great to hear you talk about that too.
Yeah.
So that kind of touches on the point I wanted to ask you about the simulation equipment. So that you've covered that, and we've also talked about how the sim compares to the real world. Is there anything that you were surprised by when you got into simulations, specifically iRacing, things that you didn't expect that you are dealing with every time that you go in races, or anything that just you were surprised by that you did not expect?
Yeah, I'm sometimes get surprised if the other drivers also have the second pedal that means brake.
Right.
That's something like I'm struggling actually a lot. Like I never crashed so much. Like thanks God in real life,
Right.
like in iRacing. So this is actually the only way. Yeah, it's hard to get used to it that someone is
Yes.
crashing into, to be honest.
Yes. 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 Yes.
But yeah, of course it can happen. I don't say that I never crashed to someone. Of course I did,
Well, sure. Sure. We all have.
yeah, but this is something what happens like really often, and this is maybe just the only thing what I don't like so much about sim racing. That's actually you never know what happened, and someone can crash to you so easily and fast.
Yeah, it's very frustrating to like know as a race car driver that you spend a lot of time on preparation, whether it be for the simulation or when you're racing. And it's frustrating to spend all that time. And I see you making all these practice laps, you're logging laps, you're checking times, you do all that, and then you go on the track and you race against someone that's not taking it as serious as you are, and that has to be frustrating. To be in your situation, to do everything you can to have the best simulation experience, but to have other people not do the same thing. So I think, like you mentioned before, that there is a brake pedal. Everyone needs to remember that. And you cannot win on the first lap in the first corner, but you can certainly lose on the first lap in the first corner.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think it's great that you touched base on that. That's fantastic. Now, I do know that you have your QuickGabi Academy. Can you please tell my listeners about this academy? Because over here at Bearded Simracer, we have our community where we are all about bringing everyone forward, with people with different skill sets, different equipment, different computers, all that too. So what do you like to do with your academy, and I know you said you've used that to train other drivers, both in simulation and outside of that. So what can you tell us about your academy? What can you tell my listeners that may not be familiar?
Like the main thing about the academy is that I'm coaching like regular people, normal people on a racetrack, but also drivers, of course. And so it's on the racetrack, but also like before, for example, the race drivers have their race, they can come to me to take like a practice session on my sim to prepare themselves better, because I know how much does it help to me before I go to race to practice on a sim. So yeah, the academy is the main thing is coaching on the racetracks, and yeah, also to give the drivers which are in the academy the opportunity to drive on my sim and get well prepared before they race.
Yeah, like we just talked about, preparation is very, very important.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about simulation, if you have a problem, you reset and you have a fresh car and you go on. No repair bills, no injuries. So that is very good that you touched on that. Now, I also know that you recently upgraded your computer. You finally have a computer that you're happy with. How does that change the experience for you to not, to not have to have that stress of worrying about what your computer can do? Because basically, what I want my listeners to know and your listeners to know is, sometimes you have to make that investment, whether it's in yourself or your equipment. So, how has it been for you to have the beast computer now that's able to do everything you want it to do?
So first thing I want to say is thank you very much to all the viewers on Twitch who helped me to with the donations and subs to get the computer, because like without them I wouldn't have it. So that's the first thing I want to say. And the second, it's completely changed. It completely changed. Like now I can see the track clearly. I can see where the grass begins. I can see when the grass ends and this stuff. And actually, I think it also helps me to get faster, because now I can see like every bump and the curbs. Everything is like much clearer, and the graphic of the iRacing is much better now. So I also improved my lap times a little bit, which is great, because like a race driver, you're always looking to some tents you can find. So this is really good, and I think it's also better for the viewers on my Twitch, that they can watch my streams in better quality.
Yeah, that's nice that you mentioned that you were able to gain time. And I know visual presentation, as a streamer myself, I know it's important for us. Our content is our main thing. It's our brand. It's who we are, and we have our communities that we interact with as well. So, what has been the biggest help for you to build your Twitch audience? I know you're very humble, you're very kind, and that goes a long way with some people. It's cool that we get to see a real life race car driver going through her simulation experience. Yeah, and less, like one of your chat members mentioned, yeah, less lag with the new PC too, so it's safer for you on the track. You can see what the other drivers are doing. So I guess what I wanted to ask is, what has been your biggest thing that you've been able to do to keep more people coming, to build your audience, build your community here on Twitch?
Actually, I don't know what helped me the most. I was just driving iRacing, the stuff what I like the most. I was just who I am. I was not
Yes.
trying to play anything, and
Yes.
actually I don't know. Maybe because I was not trying to get my audience, it came from itself. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I don't think that I have done something special, I would say, or for me something not special. Maybe for the audience, yes, but I'm just myself and not
Yeah,
pretending
well,
anything,
yeah,
and
we've yeah,
it's
we've talked
growing, and
about.
I'm happy.
That's so great. I'm so happy to hear that. And like I've mentioned, that you seem to be humble and kind, despite your talent and everything else. You're still able to talk with everyone. You seem to be very grateful for every time I see you get a follow or a sub or anything like that too. And we've had other people come on the show and give advice about streaming, and the number one advice they give is just to be yourself. And that seems to be what you do. I know that's how I found you, is just looking through the iRacing streams in one day, and then I started coming in and watching you race, and learned about you and thought it was amazing that you were, in the position you're in, but you're still wanted to stream for everyone to watch, and other people can learn from your experiences. So that's very good. And yeah, just be yourself and be kind and be humble, no matter what your situation is. So I think that's great. That's great. I
Yeah.
have to ask you, Gabby, what has been the biggest obstacle that you have had to overcome? Let's start with the real world racing. So not on the simulation, but on the track. What has been your biggest obstacle that you've had to overcome in your career?
Uh, I think it's actually for the real drivers always the same, and that's that money talks, and that's the biggest problem, I would say, for real drivers, that you're always struggling with the sponsors and this stuff. So this is maybe the only thing I would say. I wouldn't say like any hate or something,
Right.
but this is the main thing, because without any support, you can't drive. So that's the most important thing, because of course we want to drive.
Yeah, and you want to be competitive too. You want to have good equipment. I'm glad that you mentioned that, because that takes us back to our simulation where we don't have that problem, because we all have equal equipment as far as the simulation software goes. You mentioned it's important to have good hardware equipment. Good, a good direct drive wheel makes a difference. A good computer makes a difference. So everything that you're saying makes total sense, and it's a package thing. You have to have key
Yeah.
pieces that you put together to make for a good experience. So that's really good too. I hear you talk about that. What has been your biggest obstacle to overcome in sim racing? I know you mentioned the other racers not using the brake pedal, but other than that, what has been something that you've maybe struggled with that you could tell both of our listeners, your stream, your chat and my listeners, what could you maybe tell them that you've learned that they could apply to make their experience better?
No, actually, I don't know, to be honest. Like, yeah, the only thing what I'm worried about is the crashing. But
Right.
I
Yep.
think that
And I
the rest is fine. It's even when you crash, it's great. You can put the escape, and you have a new car. There's like
right.
there's nothing more great than this. So yeah, I think about the sim racing world, I have like nothing to say about this.
Okay, well that makes sense. The crashing is definitely it's stressful, and like we talked about, you do your preparations, and other people don't do them and don't take it as serious. So I think we could all learn from that example for sure. Is there anything that you would like to talk about? I know I've kind of steered everything here. Is there anything that I haven't touched on that you'd like to talk about?
Mm, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't mean to put you on the spot. I just wanted to make sure if there's anything you wanted to talk to my listeners about, or your chat, or anything like that. Don't mean to put you on the spot. If not, it's okay. I just thought I would at least ask.
Yeah, I just want to say that I love my fans all there on Twitch and supporting me. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. As content creators, we do have to have an audience, or we're just doing this for ourselves and for the other people who help us. So it's great to hear that you have the community that you have, and that takes me into my next question. Other than your chat, is there anyone you'd like to thank? I know your wife supports you. It's great to see you guys interact on the stream. Sometimes she comes in and says hello, and then you have your pup Foxy there that supports you
Yeah,
when you're racing.
yeah.
Yeah. Is there anyone else? I know you mentioned your teammate, and is there anyone else that helps make all of this possible, despite?
Like I would say like thank you to Balonek, because he is a guy who really helps me to get into sim racing and Twitch in general. So I know that like without him I wouldn't streaming, because as I told you, like in this world of sim racing and computer technologies and this stuff, I'm like completely new. So he helps me a lot, and even if I have like any problem during the stream or something, like if he is by the computer, like he's always helping me. So yeah, actually the biggest thanks is to him, because yeah, I know that without him, I wouldn't start with a Twitch. So
Oh, great.
even I would like to, I wouldn't know how to do that. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
so he did the all overlays and yeah, yeah, actually like everything which is together with
Well,
streaming.
that's great. I love to hear about the community and help each other, and helping each other out. We have enough things to worry about with other drivers crashing us and trying to make it around the track. So it's nice to have a support system. How did you two meet? How did you guys come across each other?
We don't know each other for a long. Actually, he was also the guy who told me like about iRacing. So yeah, it's like couple months ago. It's not that long, actually.
Did you meet in real life, or did you meet on the computer first?
No, in real life, it was on an event that was called Four Games. It's actually the biggest event in Czech Republic about all like computer games and streaming and this stuff. And
Oh, great.
yeah, and I was there actually with my two simulators for rent, and he was actually with some other group. And but yeah, he came to me. He told me that he knew me from real life racing, and
Oh, wow.
that he's happy that I'm. It seems that I'm going to join the sim racing community. So
Yeah.
yeah, so actually, that's the way how he helped me.
Very, very interesting. I think that's amazing. Yeah, we talked about your academy and your simulators, and that's so cool to hear about that. There seems to be more and more race car drivers that race in real life getting into simulation to build their community. I know we see Max Verstappen, the Formula One driver. He's a Twitch streamer now. He does that quite a bit. We see Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the service, the American former NASCAR driver. Current NASCAR drivers that claim the iRacing has allowed them to advance in their careers. And is that something that you apply as well? Do you see yourself getting real world gains from your simulation experience?
Yes, actually, the last year I was invited for a test with a GT4 car, which I never drove before. So I had like no idea how to drive that car, and I did some. I did actually a lot of laps on the sim before this test, and then when I came to the real track and real car and everything, and after 5 laps, I was faster than the whole team was before, and they told me like Gabby, you did the fastest lap with this car like everyone did before. So there was like how you did it, like after
Right.
five
Five
laps
laps.
with
Yeah.
a car you never drove before, you don't have like any experience with GT4 before. So
Right.
how you get it? And I said like, okay, I did like maybe 200 laps with this car, but on a sim. And actually it helps me really a lot. Like also the time difference between the sim time and the real lap time was like 1/10, which is like that's nothing. That's nothing.
Wow.
So
That close.
yeah, it was like really
Wow.
close.
Wow, that's great to hear that, and that you're able to get seat time without being at the track, without having to spend the money for testing, and to be more prepared for your actual test. I mean, that is the whole reason that anyone that's racing in real life would want to get into simulation. So I think it's great to hear you talk about that too. So I really want to thank you for taking the time to join me today, Gabby. It's been a pleasure. I think that you should continue doing what you're doing. Your community is building. I see more and more people in here every time I watch you stream. Uh, I wish you luck with the rest of the racers.
Thank you.
Something only so many things are in our control. It's important to remember that, and there's always the next race. I think everyone listening can benefit from that information. The competitive spirit in the moment, the heat and the passion and everything. We all recognize and appreciate that, whether we're just simulation drivers or actual race car drivers. So, can I ask you? I thought of another question I'd like to ask you. Does your heart rate get up similar to like it does when you're racing in real life whenever you're on the simulation?
Um, I don't know to be honest, but I think it gets, but I'm sure that not so high like in a real.
Yeah,
uh, because like even you could have like the best equipment in the world, you can get the best software in the world, but you never feel like you are not scared to that you crash or something, you know. You know that you're sitting at home and you can put every time the escape, so there's no fear. There's not so much adrenaline like in a real car. And
right.
yeah, that's something you will actually always missing.
It's interesting to hear you say that. We had Blake Cook on the show last week. He is a former NASCAR driver. And he said that he actually gets more excited on iRacing and more nervous and more adrenaline on
Oh,
iRacing than he does driving the real cars.
really?
I was so surprised. Yes, I could
Okay.
not believe that. Yeah, I've actually asked several people that, and he was the first one to tell me that. So that was a
Oh,
big surprise too.
okay.
So
That's
Yeah, I mean,
surprising me as well.
yes, exactly. Very eye-opening, very eye-opening. Okay, well, thank you for allowing me to backtrack and ask you that. I wanted to touch bases with you on that too as well. So, thank you, Gabby, for taking the time to join me today.
Thank you
To my
for inviting me.
listeners, you can find Gabby on Twitch at twitch.tv/QuickGabi. There will be a link to her stream here in the description. To the Bearded Simracer community people listening from our Discord, up at the top under content, under streams, you can find Gabby's stream there. Gabby is a member in our Discord, has come in and interacted with our members. Hopefully, Gabby, sometime soon we could do a race together. I think it would be great to do like a streamer race with your community and my community, and maybe Bolognic and everyone else that tunes in and watches. And
Yeah.
it would just be exciting to race with other people who know how to use the brake pedal.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good.
Okay, thank you
Definitely,
so much.
definitely.
Yes, okay, yes, thank you. That's very exciting. Well, again, this has been a pleasure. I've really enjoyed talking with you. Hopefully, your chat or have enjoyed the conversation, and maybe they can learn something about simulation beyond what they see on the stream. So it's great that we were able to talk about those things. From everybody over at Bearded Simracer Productions, I wanted to thank you for taking the time to join us today. And if there's anything else that you want to say or anyone else you want to thank, please go right ahead.
Thank you, everyone. I don't have like someone special, but thank you for inviting me to your podcast, and yeah, I hope we can do some races together, as you said.
Fantastic. All right. Well, thank you again, Gabby. Thank you to everyone on Gabby's stream on Twitch right now for tuning in today. We appreciate your time as well. It's been a pleasure, and look forward to talking to you in the future. Thumbs up. Yes. Ciao, Gabby.
Thank you. Ciao.
Yes, sir. Yes, thank you, Gabby. And we will see you on the track, hopefully. Again, you can find Gabby at twitch.tv/QuickGabi. She also has a merch store. As you see, if you watch her on her stream, she has apparel and other items. Yes, there we are. Yes, very good. Gotta get in there. Yes, very good. All right. Well, thank you again, Gabby, for taking the time to join me today.
Thank you.
Good luck to you with your season coming up. I know that you're making some changes with what you're doing on the real world side, so I hope that's exciting for you. I hope you succeed. I think the more seat time, the better. So you're doing the right thing with what you're doing. Again, I just wanted to give you recognition for being kind, being humble, and wanting to help others as well. So that's great, and I was happy that we were able to do this today. So thank you so much, and thank you to everyone for tuning in and watching and listening. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ciao.
Ciao.
So, guys, how was it? How was it? I'm sorry, I was not replying to. So, what now? I have to do some more stuff, but I will be. Oh, thank you, Magu, for the resub. 2 months together. Thank you very much. Thank you. It was that code. Hi, Misha. Hi. I have to do some more stuff here around, but I will be racing today for sure. Like around, I'm thinking like around in 2 hours, something like that. So I'm gonna be back online. Oh, Bearded Simracer, thank you for the sub. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. Ciao. Finally, you can use it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for inviting me today. It was fun. I like it. And I think it was a good idea that we did also the live stream on a Twitch. What car is that? What for a car do you mean? Yeah, was fun, definitely. Yeah, you're welcome, guys. You're welcome. Like, it's gonna be on a Bearded Simracer page, of course, where you can listen in from the beginning if you don't get it. But yeah, I wanted that you are the one who can hear it live and the first. Yeah, thank you for sending the link. Mafia, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm not racing any car right now. Yeah, like 52.4. That's what I'm usually using. Okay, guys, do you have any questions right now after the interview? Oh, thank you. Be fast. Thank you. Mafia, I'm sorry, but I don't know what you are talking about. Yeah, Kuro, of course, ask. Thank you. How is my married life? The same as not married, to be honest. Nothing really changed. When do we race with the viewers? Soon, guys. We have to do that, or I have to do that. I have to organize it. I will do that for sure. I was more nervous than doing. I'm more nervous to do a real life race, like real racing, than iRacing. But yeah, as you heard, like someone can have it like different, but yeah, I feel like pretty chill out before the iRacing race. What's my favorite race car? Favorite race car? The favorite race car I have tested or drive into it's F3. I would say F3 car. One of the favorites for sure. Yeah, Maiku, I'm looking forward as well. We have to do that. Yeah, definitely. Have you ever been to US? If so, do you like it? Yes, I have been to US. I actually did there also some practice with the Praga run, which I should race for this season, which I will race for this season. And was in Homestead and Watkins Glen. So yeah, I like US. What you forget to ask? You mean this question about US? What are your thoughts about W Series? Oh, okay. Yeah. Actually, this year I wanted to join this series. What we got? Oh, thank you for hosting. Thank you, Bearded Simracer. Thank you very much. Thank you for the hosting. Yeah, actually this year I wanted to do the W series, but yeah, it doesn't go really well. So yeah, I will not do that. They have like 2 more free like seats. So maybe, but I don't think so. But I will try it for the next year. You like Watkins Glen? I live a few hours from there. Oh, nice, Jay. Nice. Yeah, Watkins Glen is one of my favorite tracks for sure. Favorite race cars to Martin GT. Yeah, I would love to try it, Queer, but I never drove with it yet. So favorite track on iRacing. It's also Watkins Glen, I would say. And I'm thinking like, for example, in real life, I never drove like how is it called? Like street racetracks, like city racetracks. So so this is something what I really enjoy on iRacing, to drive these tracks. Yeah. Like for example, like a couple of days ago, I learned the Detroit track, which is also really cool one actually. So yeah, these are the street race tracks are one of my favorite on iRacing as well. On Air Factor 2, I haven't done like so many tracks on Air Factor 2. Yeah. So yeah, don't have so much experience with it. Yes, Charles, I do race in real life. Since I was 5 years old. Detroit is bumpy. Yeah, it's really bumpy. Maybe one of the bumpiest track I've raced, I think. What do you race? Last year I raced in GT4. And this year I'm gonna race with Praga Air 1. I think I have to do a command for that. Yes, I started with go-karting when I was 5 years old. That's right. Like we were with my family in Croatia, and every time when we drove like from the hotel to the sea, we were passing by a go-kart like rentals, and every time we were passing by, I was just watching like out of the window, and I was like talking to my parents like I want to try it. And yeah, once they stop by the go-karts, and I have tried for the first 10 minutes, and after that I was like, no one can get me out of this. Like I was like, I want to do it again and again and again. So yeah, this is this is how it actually all started in like rental go-karts. How many girls in karting in that age? When I started with go-karting, we were maybe like 2 or 3, something like that. But they quit actually after a couple of years. They don't like it so much anymore, but I still do. I still do. Thank you guys for follow. Thank you very much. What did I race after karts? I was in karting like pretty long, like for 10 years. Yeah, I won, I don't know, 4 or 5 times the Czech championship in go-karting. I was third in the world final in go-karting. And yeah, after actually that season, I went to Formula Cars. It was, I don't know if you know, guys, Formula Gloria. It's yeah, like it's slower than Formula Renault 2 liter. And yeah, this is the way I went after the go-karting. So I started with Formula Gloria, where I was racing for 1 year. Then I went to Formula Renault 2 liter. And yeah, then I had one quite horrible crash. And where I had broken 5 vertebrae on my back. So yeah, it took me some time to go back. Like, actually I wanted to go back like directly, even if I was in a hospital, but yeah, I couldn't, of course. So yeah, it was like half a year I have to stop with racing. That was also the time where I lost actually a lot of sponsors. And yeah, after that crash was quite hard to go back into motorsport, because I lost a lot of sponsors, and without sponsors you don't have money for racing. So yeah, so after this race I actually never did a race in Formula again, because it's more expensive than touring cars, for example. So after this crash, I did Renault Clio Cup, which was actually good racing. It's not that fast, the cars, but so much competitive. Like, we were, for example, like 20 drivers in 1 second, which is like, that's incredible. So I actually like cup races or cup series because the cars are almost the same. So yeah, so this is how I went through. Okay, Ryan, so we can do another podcast if you want. No problem. Andrea, I'm good today. Thank you for asking. How are you? When I went on a Czech circuit, the Czech championship, I won it in karting, and also with Formula Gloria, and actually also with the Renault 2 liter. How many languages do you speak? Czech, German, and English. Sorry. Thank you very much. Yes, Chronic. I have been once to Formula 1 race. It was in Monaco. Yeah, that was actually really cool. Really cool. I like it, but definitely wasn't my last race, which I visited. So yeah, I really want to visit another one as well. Oh, thank you, Andrea. Thank you very much. Nice compliments. Ryan could compliment as well, of course. yeah, the in the US it must be cool as well. Must be great. Like actually, like one of my budget list is to visit the Grand Prix of Singapore and watching watching the race or some practice from the infinity pool, if you know that. So yeah, this is like of my on my bucket list, what I definitely want to do. Road to 3K starts again this afternoon. Yes. Road to 3K part 2. Let's see how many parts it's gonna be to make it happen. Gonna work. Okay. So you're gonna leave? Oh, go to. Okay. Thanks. I want you on a top split to race against you. I will try, Andre. I will try. Like yeah, I said in the podcast to Ryan that actually I'm not looking like that much to the iRacing points. That's also the reason why I'm jumping from F3 to GT3 and GTE and now also GT4. So yeah, I'm just trying to do like as many races as possible. So yeah, I'm not really focused on 1 or 2 series. I'm trying to do as many as possible. How is my health for today? I hope good. How did you came up with a QuickGabi logo on your rear? I don't know. I don't know. Like, yeah, it's like Gabriela Jilkova. And yeah, I don't know. Like, just get it somehow. Not leaving? Okay. I wanted to go to Interlagos, but this Corona thing is driving me crazy, to be honest. Like, on Saturday, I hope I will leave to Germany for the Nürburgring. But I don't know if actually I will be able to fly there, because yeah, they may close the borders here, and if I will make it happen to go there, I don't know if I can make it happen to go back. Actually, wait, I can't see it. Oh, thank you, Do Cormo Bruno, for hosting. Thank you very much. Focus on GTE, please. We'll see. Yeah, I will definitely do some community races. I will do that. Oh, you was last week in Nürburgring? Nice. I saw some pictures. You were driving there with BMW, right? Yeah, here's the link from Bearded Simracer. You can find the interview I have done before in 24 hours. Hi, Peter Pan. Can we get you on an oval? I'm really a noob there in oval racing, but we can do some races, of course. Like why not? Why not? It's gonna be fun. I did it once. I did it once. Okay, we can do that. We can do that. Like, why not? Why not? I got a headache, but it was fun. I got a headache, but it was completely fun. Kura was teaching me how to drive it. But yeah, it was good. Was good. Okay, guys. So I really have to do something more. So like around 2 hours, 1.5 hours, I'm gonna be online again, and we're gonna race. We're gonna race. In 2 weeks, I have a race at Hock and High. At least I hope so. Oh, cool. Good luck then. Good luck, Hassan. I hope they will not cancel your race. Okay, guys. So yeah, I'm leaving already. I'm leaving, but I will be online like in yeah, around 2 hours. I'm gonna be online again with some racing. And yes, I have already tried the GT4, the Cayman. Okay, guys. Yeah, see you soon. See you later. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Okay, so see you. Ciao.